Okay. Yeah, we should be able to solve this. Alright, so Buyin is a full moon. Alright, so that's already there. Heimat is this one. Veneta is the same. Kitze is the opposite. So it's this one. Lang, this one. And Rotfront is a new moon. Is that not correct? Is it what I said that I didn't have the tarot cards right? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's double check the tarot cards. The only thing it doesn't tell us about is Heimat. But that's the only place left. It's also the one that is... It's the only one that's a duplicate. It's also a different color. Let's mess around with the door again. Heimat is German for home. That's cool. That's a cool name for a planet. See, I don't know if it's just gonna automatically like open the door, or I'm missing an item, because it seems like I don't understand what this is for. Make the moon the gold part. All right, let's try that. I see. We're back here again. Black and white pictures of the paintings Ariane used to make. The national flag, it's meaningless. The hole's gone. What is this? It's locked. It requires a key. Old Imperial serials. Ariane loved reading these. Textbooks on radio operation. There used to belong to Ariane's mother. The door won't open yet. A light switch. I don't need to turn off the light. An old wooden wardrobe. Ariane used to keep her clothes in here. The computer screen is blank. And once again, this book. The last seal has been broken. It's time to go home. Where are we? Well, I guess we're not gonna find out. Sad about Issa dying. I guess we had similar goals. She was here to find someone, and I guess she failed. And we're doing the same thing. And hopefully we will not fail. And end up like her. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game. In the world. The universe. Apparently there's like some sort of possible war going on. I don't know. There's a lot going on. Don't know how much of it is relevant to us, though. Pretty excited to see what's going to happen in this area. Where actually are we? What did the save data say? End. It's literally called End. I don't know if that means, like, we're about to win in, like, 10 minutes? Or what? I think this is it. Auntie's note. I left some of yesterday's dinner in the fridge for you. You can warm it up when you get back from school. Please pick up the books your uncle ordered from Itao bookstore on your way home. Remember to leave some space in your school bag for them this time so they don't get wet. Leave some space in your school bag? That's highlighted. Is it saying that we want a space free in our bag? I would take that under advisement. Yeah. I'm leaning towards that also. Workforce assignment for Ariane Young. Maybe you get a railgun or something silly. Maybe. We've been informed that your compulsory military service period was recently completed. According to our files, you have previously graduated from Mandelbrot Polytechnical High School in Rothfront Sector C on R3. Lots of stuff. And have recently submitted an application for the military service assignment. Penrose program. You've been processed by Aeon Workforce Assignment. Previous work experience. Store clerk, part-time. Compulsory military service. Long-range radio operations. Should you not be accepted by a military service program by the end of the season, or find other employment, you will be assigned the following workplace. Sierpinski Production and Mining Facility on Lang. Yeah, all that's making sense. It's giving me a bunch of stuff. Letter from Mother. My dearest Ariane, I'm so glad to hear you're feeling better again. I was very worried when I heard from your aunt that you're in the hospital again. I still remember how you used to get sick so much as a child. Please don't overexert yourself, okay? The photo you sent me is very interesting. What a strange coincidence that she looks so much like you. You could be twins. Perhaps she is related to us somehow, though I don't know anyone named Seo in our family. From the looks of it, it was shot on Veneta. Your military service will begin soon, so you might be wearing a uniform like her soon enough. Please send me a photo when that happens. Love, Mother. Oh boy, okay. We're gonna get out our best stuff for this. I guess we'll go in with this. I think I accidentally unequipped my revolver. I did. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, not gonna be the best idea at this point, I think. Alright. Let's go. This is the end. Leave forever. Adler's note. All efforts to contain this illness have been in vain. All the Gestalt workers have succumbed to it, leaving only dark shadows on walls and floors where they died. And soon all of us replicas will have lost our senses and turn to writhing masses of flesh. I now believe it was not an infectious disease, nor some form of poison or radiation. It was a slow corruption of reality itself. As I've relived the same cycle over and over, each time details change, things are twisted, added, removed. How long until it all turns to nothing but noise? So I guess that's what happened to Issa. A red dream, a crashed ship, a strange gate, a hole in the ground. An island beyond reach, memories from other lives, dreams of suffering and loneliness, a promise, a search for someone lost. I saw her in the red emptiness waiting for me. We'd made a promise. As the memories of a stranger rushed into my mind, I felt the borders of myself blur. Now I can no longer tell where Falk ends and Elster begins. Stop. You must turn back. There's nothing for you there. You've tried so many times and you've failed every time. Don't you see that you're ruining everything? This is your final warning, Adler. Are we fighting Adler? This is the room that we saw earlier in the game. I'm pretty sure he was trying to stop Issa from going in there. Falk's memory. We were dancing to that song they start the broadcast with. We fell asleep watching that movie we'd seen before so many times. If only I could take us back to that time when we were happy. These memories are mine now. Here we go. Here's Falk. Why did you return? There's nothing for you here. She'll never dance with us again. No matter what we do, she doesn't even want us anymore. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to click past that. I don't know what it said. I'll have to see it in editing. Well, I'm doing a lot of damage to her. Help her? Well, jeez. I don't know how to avoid that. Well, attempt one did not go well. I wonder if I was supposed to proceed to the next part of the fight earlier than that. I was doing a lot of damage though, so I don't know. Well, let's do that again. Doing this again makes me wish the hallway was just a tad bit shorter. Both of us, we are incomplete. Let us become whole again. Won't let me pick it up at this point, so let's just... I can't pick these up. No? Nope. I don't know if this is how this is supposed to go. I've now used all of my ammo, so... Are you serious? There's not a prompt. And I clicked on it before and nothing happened. I think I know what's happening. This perspective is making it hard. It's not giving me a prompt to pick up the spear. Go for the front. Whatever she's open to. We've got options. we go. Now this is making a lot of sense. Life is just pain. My goodness. I can't even look. This game's turned into a bullet hell all of a sudden. Shields are so irritating. I can't even get a window to hit her. I'm dead. Nope. And it's not over. This game got extremely hard. I don't have a spear. Oh, it's not over. I cannot see. Have any more ammo. I don't know how I'm gonna win this. I can't get her damaged because I don't have any ammo. I have nothing I can do. I'm pretty... Oh! Thank goodness! Oh my gosh! Now we are one. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Once again, you've returned. Are you really willing to go through with this once more? You've seen what happens. The world cannot take much more. This may be our last chance. If you go back, it'll all fall apart. I can't let that happen. You selfish monster. Destroy everything. Penrose briefing phase 2. By our calculations, 1500 cycles of mission time will have passed when you receive this message. Congratulations, comrade. By now you should have become fully acclimated with your new life on board your ship. As you approach the Oort cloud, your search for new worlds will begin. Utilizing the long-range sensors, you will scout for valuable resources, habitable worlds, or signs of alien life. Remember to rely on your replica to assist you in maintaining your vessel. We all wish you great success in your mission. Cycle 225. When I signed up for this mission, I just wanted to get away from everything. I was sick of Rothfront, of school, of the photo store, sick of the fake smiles and whispering behind people's backs. When I saw the photo of that soldier, I wondered who she was. Was she happy? Was her family proud of her? Did her comrades love her? Since we looked alike, could I have been like her? But in the end, I just wanted to leave. Nothing I had done or made ever meant anything to anyone, so why bother? Here I'm finally free. I get to be by myself and do what I want. I can finally be happy. Cycle 648. Talked some more to the Elster unit. She's different from the replicas I knew back home. Nothing like my teachers or the Blockwort Protector. I know she didn't have a choice, but it feels like she's also here because she didn't fit in. It's like we've run away from the world together. At first, I didn't like having someone around, and I was glad that she's quiet and didn't approach me. But lately I've missed having someone to talk to. It's been so long since I've last seen another person. I never thought I'd miss it. Except her, everything is the same in here. Always. Nothing ever changes. Penrose briefing phase 3. You survived 3,000 cycles, reaching the final phase of the Penrose program. With the end of the operational lifetime of your replica unit approaching, it's time to prepare for the final phase of your mission. If you've not found a suitable world by landing by this point, accept that you will not. Find solace in the thought that others might be successful where you failed, and you are probably aware your ship's spare parts and rations will soon be depleted. Life support systems and reactor shielding will soon begin to fail, and radiation may begin to leak from the cooling system. We recommend you do not attempt to prolong your suffering by reusing old filters or rationing supplies. Instead, make peace with your fate. We suggest that you ask your replica, while it is still functional, to spare you a slow and agonizing death, or that you take permanent rest in the cryogenic pod. Remember, you will die having served your nation by partaking in a glorious demonstration of our power. Nothing ever changes. Literally nothing ever is anything else. Another unfinished painting. There was never enough time. It's radioactive in here. Had a strange dream. I was listening to the radio with my mother. Like back then, the numbers were on, and my mother was taking notes with a book on her lap. It was that book I saw in the shop window of the bookstore where the twins lived, the one with the yellow hooded figure on the cover. When I went there to buy it, it was gone, and Erica said the protectors had confiscated it. Or was it Issa? I can't remember. Everything is always the same. I feel like I'm trapped inside this ship. I know every bolt on every panel in every room of it. I've seen everything. I've done everything there is to do in here. I can't concentrate on anything. It's like there's this fog inside my head. And whenever I try to do anything, I just can't focus. I want to go outside. I want to breathe fresh air. I want to feel wind on my face and in my hair. I think I lost more hair. I'm sitting here, getting older. Every time I wake up, I feel older, weaker, sicker. I get out of breath so easily lately, and my back hurts when I sit down. How much longer will this go on? Feels like I'm just slowly dying. It's leaking irradiated coolant everywhere. I tried my best to patch it up, but we eventually ran out of spare parts. So tired of it all. Every time I go to sleep, I wonder if I'll wake up again. I'm scared that it'll be the last time I said good night to her. Did I say it right? Will she be okay? What if one of us just won't wake up tomorrow? I don't want to die. I don't want to live anymore either. Everything is just so exhausting. I just want to lie down and disappear. I just want to sleep. Please let me sleep. Please just make it stop. Please. I couldn't keep my promise. Despite my best efforts, I eventually fell ill too. It had to end this way. It's time. This is all that's left. Go home? Remember our promise. Elster. I can't do it. You have to do it. It's time for this to end. Please. Together forever. I'm sorry. Thank you. I didn't know this was a sad game. I didn't know anything about how this game ended. Well, we're seeing the credits yet again.
When you are away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't
Of course. Okay. Donald got off of his soapbox. Thank you, Rezzy. That was very touching. I need to look more into the story. I feel like I lost track of some things later in. I get that this is repeating. I don't understand why it's repeating. There's obviously something supernatural going on. Playing it once a week and then missing it sometimes probably didn't help. Yeah. Oh, we got the promise ending. I saw that there are multiple endings. I guess that's... Hopefully that's the best one? I don't know. The difficulty of this game actually reduced my enjoyment of it. For two reasons. It kind of stagnated the story, so it made following it harder. And two, the difficulty, I had to focus on the survival and combat mechanics so much that I couldn't really think about the story while I was playing. I was always trying to think about, okay, I need to strategize, I need to go through this room, there's tall mommies in there, how am I going to kill them? Or, you know, do I need to backtrack over here, go over here, what was in this room, what's this puzzle, how do I solve this puzzle, sit there in this puzzle for like 20 minutes. I couldn't really ruminate on the story because I was always trying to focus on the gameplay. I guess because she wanted to change her lover's fate. How much of the difficulty was you changing the perspective, though? That actually wasn't... I don't think that was the major component. The camera made seeing enemies harder, but that also was something I really appreciated because it made the game scarier. The game would not have been as scary in the typical camera because I was able to see everything. So I really appreciated that. That actually made me enjoy the game more. It's the backtracking and having to go through enemies so much and taking tons of damage and getting stuck all at the same time. They're still, even with the camera being in its regular view, there's not a way to switch between targets. I've looked it up, and I've looked in the controls, I've switched to the regular camera to try to do it. There's not a fluid way to do it. You just gotta kind of like aim your turn Elster and hope that she targets the other enemy that you want to target. That made the combat extremely clunky. Extremely clunky. You couldn't really aim at the one you wanted to. It pretty much always defaults to the one closest to you, which is not necessarily what you want to do all the time. I think I probably should have just decreased the difficulty. I didn't want to because I wanted to do it on the normal experience, but I think if it was gonna detract from my enjoyment that much, like I did it, I beat the game, you know, like whoopee, you know, I did it on the one you're supposed to, but it detracted from my enjoyment. I do really appreciate the really deep world building of the world. I think this is a very interesting universe. This is a really interesting universe. However, for me, that's a double-edged sword for this game. It gave you a lot of information about things that don't really have relevancy that I can tell to the main narrative. Like, we're talking about, you know, freaking Imperial Empire fleet. Blockade, that's it. That's the word. It talked about some really interesting things, but it distracted you from the main narrative. So while I'm trying to put things together, I'm getting a bunch of unrelated world building stuff that doesn't really play into the narrative, where I think I understand it's the creative vision. I would want to do the same. If I made a world this interesting, I would want to share it. But it pulls you away from the main narrative and understanding and following the main narrative, along with the other things that I said, which kind of draws your attention away and keeps you from understanding. Like the puzzles and the combat. having to strategize where you go and use your ammo correctly, your resources correctly. In the end, I still had an abundance of ammo and auto injectors. So technically I could have been more lenient with my usage of the ammo, but I didn't know when the game ended or how much ammo I would need later. So it's that typical gaming problem where you hold on to things because you don't know if you're going to need them later. I didn't have enough thermite. I definitely didn't have enough thermite for what I wanted to use it for. And that's the only real way to surely kill enemies. Exactly, Rezi. That's not a criticism of the game. That's the player. That's entirely the player. I'm not blaming them for that. Is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, in retrospect, I could have been using more ammo, but I didn't realize it. Yeah, I think if I was directing this game, I probably would have changed a few things to really at least bring the main narrative a little bit closer to the surface. If I could change one thing about this game, it's not any of the technical things. It's not, the vision or anything. It's just to ensure that the main narrative is not lost. It makes me a little sad that happened because I really wanted to experience this game, the main narrative of this game, and then everything to click at the end, which some things did, but not everything did. I definitely should have lowered the difficulty, and I will probably do that in games going forward if I realize that it is detracting from my enjoyment. Because at the end of the day, I didn't play this game to be like a freaking Dark Souls kind of experience. And it's felt like that sometimes. I played this game for the horror and the story. How much of the narration would have lost if you played it over like a weekend instead of almost 2 months? Yeah, I know, that's another thing. It's a bunch of things, Rezi. And like I said, not all of it is necessarily the game's fault. It's a mixed number of things. Anyway, I'm going to look more into this game. I want to understand what happened, and honestly, once I do that, I'm probably going to reapproach this game with a much stronger appreciation with it. That happens sometimes with me in a game, or a show, or like an anime, or anything. I won't completely follow it the whole way through, but I'll look more into it, and then I will connect the pieces then, and I will have a greater appreciation for it. Yeah, totally with you on the difficulty. Intended difficulty only wins so many points with me. Yeah. And like once again, that's not the game developer's fault. That was my fault. Same, I like it on easy. I play games for fun. I didn't want to make it too easy because I didn't want to take away from the dread aspect that this game, especially with that camera angle, really hits home with. Like the camera was immensely impactful for me. It was definitely worth the time and what I paid for it. Absolutely. I mean, it's a good game. We've stared at this information so long, it's probably going to be burned into my screen at this point. We did our part. If these developers come out with a Signalis 2, I would be very interested in playing a sequel to this game. And this time I will do research on, if it happens, I will do research on the difficulty that I want to play at. Anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for today, obviously. We're at the end of the game. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the help with the puzzles and keeping me company during this game that was probably longer than it needed to be. And that's me. That's my fault. Thanks for playing this game that I didn't want to play. You're welcome, little bit. I'm going to stop delaying this any longer. It's time to end the stream. And everybody needs to relax, and go to bed. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you so much for joining in on the stream. It means a lot to me. That's why I stream these games, to hang out with you guys. Until next time, though, good night and goodbye.